Good
chug,
night.
Chuggity chug. He's drunk as fuck.
Alright, I'm back again. And this time I'm going to make, some more blackberry wine, which I'm going to change up the recipe a little bit this time around. I'm going to use a different yeast, RC212, which is specifically for raspberry and blackberry. So, what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and do my step 1 and 2. You notice, got everything in here. I got my food bag in here. I already got my step 1. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Go ahead and put my star sand in there, and then I'll get back with you. Alright, now we're down to putting the blackberries in the bucket. I'm going to do about 30 pounds. So I'm going to zero out my scale. This is an HVAC refrigerant scale. It works good for all the needs that I use for winemaking, so I can use it for my refrigerant and winemaking. It works. So, go ahead and start adding the blackberries. Got about 28 pounds, so that's good enough, I say. Filled up the bucket. Of course, they're all frozen right now, but in the matter of some time, they'll defrost. And usually when they're frozen, usually they tend to liquefy a little easier, so I'm going to go ahead and tie these up like so, and let it start its draining process, and usually it takes about 24 hours. So, I'm going to go ahead and let that happen. Alright, till then. Alright, so my blackberry wine sat for a little while. And what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and pitch the yeast. It's 28 pounds of blackberries. I smushed them quite well, added about half the sugar I need. Which I think I'm going to let it sit for 4 days, let it ferment, and then add the rest of the sugar and do it again. I'm going to experiment, I'm going to try this, see if it works. But it's about the same as what I did last time, so I'm going to assume the measurements are pretty close to the same. But it's worth an experiment. I'll try it. As long as it doesn't get below 1.030. That's the catch on the hydrometer, so that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and pitch the yeast today. So like I said, in about 3 days, 4 days, I'll go along and add some sugar water. What I'll do is I'll take a gallon of water. After I wring these out, I'm going to put them in another bucket, press them until I get all the juice out, put it in there, and then take a gallon of water, and then melt the rest of the sugar in it and dump it in here. And that should level it up to 6 gallons, maybe a little more, but that's okay. That's what I want it to be. So, go ahead and let the yeast start eating up these blackberries, though. Which this time I'm using RC212, which is specifically for raspberries and blackberries. I think it goes up to 15% before it toxes out. So, by the time I add my back sweetening and all that, it should be at 12. Like I said, I'm going to start, kicking my wines back a little bit because I've noticed people get too drunk too quick. And, it's like you got these beer drinkers that, think they can go hard to paint, of course, they drink however much beer they drink. But, at the end of the day, it still knocks them to the ground because they're not ready for that, 16% alcohol. They don't catch, quite how much that is as compared to, what it would be in beer or whatnot. And like I said, it hits them pretty quick. So, that's pretty much what's going on with this blackberry. I'm going to do that, like I said, 3-4 days from now. I'm going to drain it. Pull this bag out, squish it, add the rest of the sugar, make sure it doesn't get below, 1.030. I'm going to watch it every day. And then, of course, moving around and stuff like that, oxygen's good for it at the very beginning. So you can kind of do this at the beginning. I think what I'm going to do is invest in a bigger fermenter. Because, some projects this is great, because I've got 6-gallon carboys, and this is a 7.9-gallon bucket. But, you know, I think I need something a little bit bigger than 7.9. I need something that's at least 12. As, you know, maybe 20. 20 might be pushing. I could put enough to get, you know, 2 6-gallons full. And of course, once, you know, fall hits and I have all my fruits and stuff, I'm going to go into a full-fledged. I'm going to have a lot more wines going. I'm going to have all 7 carboys going. So, that's something to think about. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Well, I'm going to wipe it down first, but yeah, once I wipe it down, I'm going to close it up, put a little bit of water in the airlock, some star sand, and, you know, I'll see this in 3 or 4 days, so till then. Alright, so here we are on the Blackberry. Like I said, I'm going to have to separate it because the bucket's too full. You can see it's got Blackberry everywhere. I've been cleaning it up twice a day, so. But I think, you know, it's fermented for 3 days, so I believe they're separated enough. I'm going to put it in 2 different buckets and get whatever's, you know, squeeze out whatever's left and get the 6 gallons between the 2 and then put them in a carboy together. So that's what I'm going to do now. Which the only thing I'm risking when I do this is contamination, because, I mean, I wash my hands, I, you know, sanitize my bucket. You see the star sand in there, I dump most of it out. But the thing I risk now is contamination, because I'm moving it, I'm messing with it, I'm doing things with it. So it's something you got to think about. Like I said, I'm probably going to get a bigger fermenter just for the situations like these. But yeah, let me go ahead and get started. Well, to my surprise, it actually came out to be pretty close to 6 gallons once I did everything. Pulled it out, and most of the blackberries were drained off. It wasn't nearly as swollen as I thought it was going to be, so got lucky. I was able to fit it all in one bucket. I got it dripping a little bit. Whatever drips here in the next hour or two, I'll put in here, but it's real close to 6 gallons. It's where I want it to be. I've got the sugar, the peptic, and nutrients added, and sugars. Everything's good to go in that regard. Got a little full. Like I said, I gotta get a bigger fermenting bucket. It's alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this bucket real quick. Clean up the outside because you've seen what it looked like. And go ahead and let it sit. Got a spot for it already made up. So, go ahead and get that started. Alright, so there you know, that's my video for Homebrew Wednesday. The Blackberry wine, I believe. I'm recording this, you know, a few days, about 10 days after the fact. But here's the thing, this is what I'm going to start doing. And I've kind of decided, you know, like putting out a video every week is just, it's not the way to go. Because, you know, when I do my wines, I do them all at one time. You know, usually I get, you know, one started, like, you know, I might get a mead started, then an apple started, then a, you know, pear started, then a blackberry, or whatever I do. You know, and usually I get, you know, the first one done, the second one done, and they're all at the same step. So then I end up putting, you know, on YouTube, you guys have seen it, where I have 4 racking videos in a row, and 4, whatever, you know, and whenever it comes time, you know, re-racking videos and things like that. And I've decided, you know, I'm just going to make the videos about halfway through and then post them. So it may take me 4 years to get to 52 Homebrew Wednesdays, which is, you know, fine by me. It's not in any rush. I'm not, you know, nothing's pushing me towards that direction. It's just the way I'm going to start doing things. So, you know, that's something, I'm just going to put it out there. Don't expect a video from me every week. I'm not going to try and do it anymore. But, you know, hey, a plus side, I got a Oram Wines package, and, you know, I opened one, and it was apple raspberry, and it was very good. I drank it already. And, you know, it had good taste and everything, but I decided to save this one for an actual homebrew Wednesday, because, you know, I've made a mixed berry wine myself, and I wanted to go ahead and taste this and see what my reaction was on video. So here we go. Which, Justin, thanks for sending this wine. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to go ahead and pop it. Which it's got that sweet berry smell to it, so yes. Let's see, go ahead and pour it in my cup. Which I noticed right off the bat when I looked at his wine, it has no sediment on it, which, you know, mine, I usually have a little bit of sediment in it, which I'm okay with it as long as it's real fine. I've noticed some people that have sediment and it'll be chunks and you're drinking it and you'll get it on your tongue, but his has none on it. I'm guessing it's from when he racks, he has like an adapter that sits on the side of his bucket that holds his racking cane, you know, a few inches up from the bottom. I'm guessing that's one of the reasons. Plus, I know he racks it, you know, a couple more times more than I do. Which, I mean, hey, that's good. I mean, that's awesome to be able to pull all that out like that and have it looking that good. So. Alright. So here it is. It's got a very nice color. You can see my fingerprints on it now. There you go. People at home can see it. I don't know, the wall's white, so yeah, you can see it's nice and clear. Well, go ahead and get back behind my table here. It's got a real good smell to it. That's very, yeah, that's a very good glass of wine here. It has a, I mean, it's real smooth going down. There's no alcohol bite to it or nothing. It's very good wine. Yeah, I like that. So, cheers to you, Justin. Anyway. If you keep viewing, I'll keep brewing. Cheers.